Hey everybody, Steven here, the Green Effect Podcast live on the air. Season 4 still, episode 9. This episode almost didn't happen. So we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, my week in particular, because really, let's face it, that's what this podcast is all about, is my week, and what the hell's happening out there. All right. Lots of really cool topics we're talking about. Obviously, some updates on me, business, what's going on in the market as I see it, and then just talking about what's happened this past week. Okay, so let's definitely get right into it. You might hear a plane going by right now. I have my window open because it's a beautiful day, and we're just gonna have to deal with the noise. That's all there is to it. Because perfectly, I'm recording my podcast, and right now there's a plane going by. Anyway, that has been the type of week it's been. All right. So yeah, this podcast almost didn't happen today because I know I didn't do one last weekend. It was Easter. Family and I went down to a Sabres game to take in the Leafs, and because who the hell can afford to take a family to a Leafs game anymore? But yeah, if you ever get a chance, go to Buffalo and take in a Leafs game. We think on a conservative side, there were probably about 85%, if not more, Leafs fans at this game. Now, Buffalo's horrible, all right, so that worked out quite well. But a sea of blue everywhere. It was like it was if you closed your eyes, you wouldn't know if you were at ACC or if you were at or whatever the hell it's called now, or if you were at what do they call Citibank City something or other, the Buffalo Arena. Okay, it was that bad. As every time the Leafs scored, place went nuts. Buffalo scored, booing and like a polite, if people on camera or people who are listening, I'm just clapping my hands softly, like a golf clap, I think is what I'm going for. But a phenomenal experience. It was really, really cool. Like, think about this. What is better? Why would you go to a Leafs game? You got to fight traffic. You got to pay astronomical everything, food, parking. Then you got to pay for the ticket. That's stressful. Then you got to try to get home. Insane. Why do that when you go to a Buffalo game? It's probably about the same distance. You just got to cross a little border, hop into Target, get your shopping done, right? Stop off at Olive Garden, fire that down, right? And then off you go to the game. Parking was like 20, 25 bucks, right? US, yes, I understand, but still a reasonable price. Food was good. I don't know if it's a new arena. Someone can maybe fact check me on that one, but it definitely seemed, it was very nice. And you know what? It's downtown Buffalo, but I find with a lot of these US cities, a lot of them are pretty cleaned up, or areas around the entertainment district, like around arenas and stuff, it's usually very touristy, so it's not too much of a big deal. I know there's definitely some bad areas, like anywhere, there's going to be some bad areas here and there, but it was a great time. So why would you go to Toronto? You just fire down the QEW and just go to a Sabres game for like legit maybe a quarter of the price. Like it's crazy how much cheaper it is. So strongly recommend. 10 out of 10, 5-star review. Hint, hint. All right. Okay, so just another thing. So don't forget, I mean, this podcast, it's finance, life, and business. So I wanted to hit off the business part before we get into the finance part, because I just hit the life part. Okay. Uh, so I think I might have mentioned this on my last episode 2 weeks ago. I'm working with a social media consultant, and it's been pretty awesome, actually. I think for the most part, I've got some really good ideas, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I take stuff and run with it. I like breaking things and making them better, that sort of thing. But it's been a fantastic experience where I'm learning a lot. There's things we just need to change. There's things about, and part of it's my generation too. So I'm Gen X, okay? So I came in with the internet, but I'm the generation that has Facebook, not Instagram, for example. So learning stuff about Instagram, how it works, how to market, that sort of thing. It's been phenomenal. And if for nothing else than to almost, what's the right word? Um, to work with someone to just come up with ideas, brainstorming ideas, right? It's nice when you have someone like yourself who just wants to create and make things better and come up with ideas. It's not a situation where it's hey, do this, do this, do this. Like I'm not that type of person, and she knows that. Lacey Morrison is her name. The broker club. Oh my God, I'm getting it wrong. Hit me up. Google Lacey Morrison. You'll find her. She's out in BC. Super cool. But it's nice to have someone I'm consulting with that A, kind of understands the mortgage market, but also B, we can just play around with ideas and come up with new things. And she's come up with new things to help me. I've come up with new things by just listening to her. It's been a cool experience. So you're going to see, you would have heard my last podcast. I actually started the last podcast uh, with all of our new programs. Well, the one thing we just came out with in our last meeting, which was Friday, so I'm recording this Sunday night. I have slept maybe 3 hours the last 2 nights since my call with her because I can't shut my brain off to create and create and create vision. The second I have a vision, I'm done. Like I got to go and execute on it. Great book, by the way. Okay, from a business perspective, if you are struggling to actually execute on goals, processes, ideas, etc., the book is called Execute. Go read it. Great business book. Phenomenal. All right. But because of that book and because of my personality type, I can't shut it off. I got to get all this done. I'm so bad at this where it's like it just starts to flow and I got to get it out. So, um, what we've basically done, just to kind of let you know, is we've taken all of these programs. So, mortgagepremier.ca, our mortgage planning program, solutions55plus.ca for our seniors who need no payment financing, um, Mortgage Lounge, our new client portal, Premier Partner. Okay, if you are a real estate agent, pardon me, or a financial advisor planner, and you're not working with us within the Premier Partner program, you are missing out on a ton, and so are your clients. We basically took all, we took we when I say we came up with all the ideas, and then what I did over the last 2 days is I took all of this, and again, like huge credit to Lacey for coming up with making me think, and what she's probably learning now is I'm very big picture, huge big picture. So because of that, this weekend has been not a lot of time with my wife, and thank goodness well, thank goodness, that's totally not the way to put that, but she hasn't been feeling well all weekend. So because of that, the Financial Collective has moved along quite well. We basically took all of the programs, and it was myself. It wasn't Lacey. I branded it all. So every program now has the same logo with a different name, and then we've got the one main logo for the whole thing put together. And that was her idea. I just did the work on it. So you're going to see that come out. If you're a mortgage broker or a mortgage agent, man, if you're not in on this, I'm telling you, you're missing out. And I think from a business perspective, I was actually just this past week, another fun fact. I was just on the Mortgage Tech Talks with Massimo from Blue Mortgage. So for those of you who don't know, our whole mortgage platform, I'm going to give you a bit of a hint. It's called Pathway Pro. Woo, pretty cool. But it's based on the Blue Mortgage / Zoho platform, and it's all in one. And so I was on a podcast with him, and he was asking me, he says, what do you think is going to happen in the mortgage market relative to technology? And I'll tell you my thoughts, the mortgage market in general, as a mortgage broker, mortgage agent, moving forward, technology and CRMs are not going to completely take over. AI is not going to take over, but what will end up happening is the brokers and agents who really take the concept of technology should support your behaviors, those folks will survive. If you're still working off a spreadsheet in any job, any sales job, realtors, brokers, insurance, FAs, FPs, whatever, anyone who's in sales and business, if you're still working off a damn spreadsheet, that complete waste of resources. Okay, let your CRM do what it's got to do, and then move on. So again, it's not a replacement. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's not personal. Well, you make it personal. What do you want me doing? Do you want me sending happy birthday emails and reminders in my spreadsheet? Or do you want me working on your file and giving you value there? And that's the way you got to really wrap your brain around this. It's not impersonal, right? You make it personal and you send things out. It's all automated. Like, you know, anyone I work with right now gets automated emails, and we're waiting for documents from clients and keep the. We can't have anybody, any referral source, ask me what's going on with that referral, right? And there's one-offs, right? There's things, complicated deals, stuff like that. But we can't have that. Like, it's not how business works. So, bringing me back to what I was talking about. And a quick shout out. Massimo, Blue Mortgage Team, thank you so much for having me on that podcast. That was a lot of fun. I hope I get invited out again. Hopefully, I didn't say anything stupid. Anyone else at that age right now? Every time you say something you think is funny, you got to check with your significant other. Hey, I know I made that joke, but was that funny? Just to make sure. Right here, Exhibit A, I'm there. Anyway, yeah, so that's what we're doing. It was again great session with Lacey. Really, just some really cool things coming out. So please watch our website, watch social media. She's also doing, actually, fun fact, she's doing some work for me to clean up social media branding. It's a thing, right? I try more business talk. I tried it, didn't do well. Okay, I like to try things myself. I think, and I'm going off into a bit of a tangent here, but I say this to our virtual assistants. Sarah, not, I mean, they're virtual, but they're here in Canada. So Sarah's in Burlington, Selena's in Edmonton. Virtual, but they're real. I tell them this, like, I want to know the process before you do it, because I always test. If they go away, they're on vacation, I test some of this stuff. Can I still do it? I need to know the workings. So on that note, I tried to fix up my social media a little bit, and Lacey basically said, "Yeah, no." She didn't say it. She's a little nicer than that. Well, she's actually really blunt, which I love. Like, just get to the point. Okay, phenomenal that way. But it just wasn't good. So she's working right now on a bit of a project for me for the business to really bring the branding full circle, consistent, and of course, making sure that everyone has the right information at their fingertips. So anyway, so that's the business part of the podcast. But strong guys, if anyone's got a business, man, you should be working with your tech. And strongly recommend, I didn't think I would get much out of it, but strongly recommend working with a social media consultant of some sort who knows, who can come in fresh and give some perspective. That could be, if I can summarize, that could be the value in that sort of service that you pay for. So okay, let's get into oh, Canada, messed up and definitely not free. Ooh, I like that. Messed up and definitely not free. Definitely not free. Okay. Let's talk about the market. So, the market is weird, dude. I don't even know what is happening with this market. I know what's happening. I don't know why some of this stuff is happening. It is just creepy weird. We've got, okay, so let's go through what we know. We have very limited inventory. We have population growth out the wazoo. That is the technical term I'm using, wazoo. We have employment or unemployment numbers that came out. Okay, unemployment has risen. So that's bad news. But that's what the Bank of Canada and the economy needs. I know it sounds insane, but we need more people to lose their jobs. It's crazy to even think that. Too many people working means too much money into the economy. We need less people working, period, end of story. That rose. But house prices have increased. The hell? No, supply and demand. Supply and demand, very simple. So I know Waterloo region, for example, I think house prices were up roughly, don't quote me on this, roughly 50,000 month over month. Like, holy cow. I think it's month over month or year over year. Please, guys, I don't have it in front of me, but it friggin' went up. Okay. That happened. Months of inventory. Remember, months of inventory is if we stop listing houses right now on the respective real estate board, how long would it take for the board to sell out? Okay. And if you give me 1 second, I wasn't thinking I was going to talk about this particular number, but I'm just going to get it right now. For those of you who are on video, oh, I never told you guys why this podcast almost didn't happen this week. I'll come back to that. It has something to do with, if you're on video, you can see me. I'm looking up at my other monitor. I'll tell you what has happened. It's tragic, really. Yeah. So sales are up, in particular for single family homes. Average sale price up about 50,000. This is yeah, it's year over year from last year March to this year March. No, that's not true. Month over month. Sorry, it's month over month. I apologize. Days on market. Okay, so days on market has gone from about 32. I apologize. Oh, it's a live map. This is cool. Gone from 33 down to 19. Average days on market. That's significant. But then the months of inventory has gone up from like 1.4 to 1.9. Not a lot, but significant still. Okay, so that means it would take almost 2 weeks to sell at the board, but last month it was a week and a half, down to 6 weeks. Significant. Well, but why is the months of supply of homes gone up? That usually means more inventory has hit and less sales, but the average days on market is down. It's ass backwards. Hey, love to hear in your comments. Am I missing something here? New listings way up from 803 to 1,025. That's a lot. More homes for sale. Well, yeah, I hope so. And then the dollar volume. Wow. Okay. So I've never really talked about this number. So the dollar volume of sales has gone from 217 million to 480. That is kind of significant. So yeah, so it's just a weird time. Like why is months of inventory going up, but sales are high? Like it's just a really weird time. So you got that. And like I said, unemployment numbers are definitely up. Okay, but we need that. We kind of sort of need it. Right? That's what will signal a recovery in the economy, more unemployment. Because then what happens is if people are not working, now we run into more problems, and there will be more problems because household debt is much higher. I've talked about that in my monthly realtor webinars that I do. Okay, where credit card debt is way up. Mortgage delinquencies are pretty much the same. They did go up. I shouldn't say they're pretty much the same. Big picture, they're pretty much the same across the country percentage-wise. I think they went from like 200 to 500. Again, I don't have it in front of me. It wasn't something I was going to talk about, but we definitely saw that increase. Okay. Now, of interest, let's talk about, that's kind of current market. Let's talk about now what people are talking about going forward. Okay, and we'll end with the Bank of Canada rate announcement coming up this week on the 10th. All right. So a couple of things people are talking about. Are fixed rates going to go up? So let me just reiterate fixed rate information. Okay. Fixed rates, unlike the variable rate market, are connected to the bond market. Okay. Because we are inverted, not going to explain that one right now. Because we are inverted, bond prices go up, fixed rates go with them. So I would say yes. A week ago, we were as low as, what is this? About 3.54-ish, okay, is the yield. Went up, spiked up to 3.7, came down, went back up again. So it's kind of a little bit normal to have fluctuations in the bond market, okay? It's not unusual. The problem is everybody's so sensitive right now around the rates, understandably so, that this could cause a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. You're going to see fixed rates kind of go up and down, okay? But by a little bit. That is not terribly unusual. But if they start to spike a lot, then we're going to have fixed rates go up more and more. If you think back to last spring, we had fixed rates come down under 5, which is where they are right now. But then all of a sudden the bond prices spiked and the fixed rates went with it, and then we had a complete stall again in the economy. Okay? Super, super sensitive economy. Super sensitive. Okay, I've said that before. So are fixed rates going to go up? We had one lender raise rates last week. Okay? Haven't seen it from the big banks yet. But big banks right now, there's a lot of competition on rate. Okay? We're lucky. Our brokerage is quite big. We always make sure that we try our best. And I will tell you this, guys, when I say we try to get the best rate, we always do try. That is not to be confused with, we just give you the best rate ever anywhere that you've ever seen, okay? Because there are a lot more things to it than the rate. Yeah, you heard it right. There's a lot more things to your mortgage than the rate. Believe me, in this world, advice counts for something. Experience counts for something. Someone understanding what you should maybe do on rate advice relative to the economy and the market counts for something. You heard it here first, or second, or thousandth. Okay? So we're probably going to see that from fixed rates, just some up and down. I don't think we're going to see like significant, crazy peaks and valleys. All right? Other things that happened. So CMHC, nice people. All right, so Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation, Crown Corporation, not only are they responsible for insuring mortgages under 20%, one of 3 or 4, 3 main ones, but I think there's maybe 4 default insurance companies out there. I might be wrong, doesn't matter. They came out with a stat basically saying by 2026, sorry, I'll just read this because it's just a lot easier instead of me making it up. Home prices could hit peak levels by next year. Peak set new highs in 2026. Now, looking at what's going to happen in the next couple of years, let's just think about this for a sec. Okay? I didn't really read this whole thing. I'm just going to tell you where I think this is coming from. And maybe you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong. Okay? So we have a reduction in immigration coming. That's going to happen, hopefully, as long as they're not bluffing. That starts 2025. So we have less people coming in. Now the economy has some time to breathe. And you fuel that with lower rates, lower prime rates for variable. A lot of people taking variable right now who can afford it and who are okay with the risk. Important point. Fixed rates are expected to come down. All this stuff starts to happen. Is that, and I have said this before, is that not a main result of pent-up demand? Because there's a lot of that right now. We're not talking about that enough. There's a ton of pent-up demand right now. Okay? So is that a result of that? I think it might be a big part of it. Okay? Let's just read what they said here to see if I'm right or wrong. Oh, here we go. During this time, 25-26, the pool of potential home buyers grew through grew. So they're talking about 2021 to 2023. The pool of potential home buyers grew through robust population growth, increased savings, and higher incomes. There's a stat out there, by the way. I don't know where it is. I saw it somewhere. We have the lowest income growth since the bust of the late 90s and the Great Depression. Over the last 8 years. It's not good. It's not good. I've said it before too. Separation between upper class and middle class and lower class is widening. Okay, like a dump truck. Okay, I'm not sure if a dump truck's wide enough to explain that, but it seemed appropriate at the time. What else? That's it. The end of story. Okay. Nope. We have. Remember, I talked about this before. Very limited single-family permits being issued. Like lowest in 30, 40 years. Not enough houses being built because we've got too many people here. Right now, I should say, we have too many people in the major urban centers. Okay, some people got to like move to Regina. Not me. Winnipeg. not me, okay, but if we could spread out our population over this vast country, that would definitely help a little bit. So CMHC saying we'll be house rich by 2026, guys. So don't worry about it. It's all good. Now, have they been wrong before? Probably. I'm not even going to look it up, but let's just assume CMHC's been wrong before, okay? Let's just assume anything that touches a government office. Do you know we lead the world in government employees? Like, it's something silly. Like, it's off the charts. A lot of people work for the government. A lot. Ugh. What else did I want to talk about? I got some other shit here. Hold on. Oh, I swore. Oh, well, whatever. That's the big stuff. Oh, okay, let's end with this. Tiffy Boy and his cast of merry men or women, whatever, announcement this Wednesday. Guys, they're not moving the rates. They're not. He needs to see shit go sideways for longer. Okay? If he moves that prime rate. Now, he might. I mean, if Buddy's got I want to use the term death wish, but that's not what I'm trying to say. No one's going to kill the guy. If he's a bugger for punishment, that's what I should have said. If he's a bugger for punishment, drop the rates. Go for it. Okay? There's just no way he's going to drop rates. He might increase. I'm just kidding. He's not increasing. I think he just stays the same. He's letting this sort itself out. Remember, he was slow to make a change in March 2022. Very slow. Probably too slow and not calculated enough. Way too conservative. Way too aggressive by him not touching the rates. Whatever way you want to say it. He didn't do the right damn thing. Okay? Just call it what it is. I think he's waiting this one out. Things are tough. Rates are elevated. I think he's going to play this out a little bit more. I don't think we're going to see anything until maybe before summer. Maybe. That's when most people are calling for it. But, like anything else, listen to his comments. He needs to see it. I'm paraphrasing here. He needs to see it worse for longer. And that's it. End of story. He needs to see it worse for longer. Okay? I don't think he's touching that damn rate. I think that would be, again, bugger for punishment. If he goes up or down, just leave it. Wait another month or two, see what happens. That's my 2 cents. Because then the other thing, too, is, guys, don't forget, I know in southwestern Ontario, gas is through the damn roof. I have not researched why gas is up in price. It's like $1.60 something. I know it's the summer, perfect time to gouge, but I'm trying to think what I've been looking for. I can't find the reason, and I'm sure there's something out there. I have not watched close enough, but I'm sure there's something out there around why gas has spiked up. If you know the answer, put it in the comments. Let me know. I would like to know that. Okay? Finally, if you're still listening to this podcast, God bless you. You should be giving me a 5-star review. Why did this podcast not almost happen this week? Let me tell you, okay? On the topic of multiple monitor problems, okay? Technology problems that probably aren't really problems, but they're problems to me, okay? I have a 4-monitor setup, and I have heard some of you have actually sent me pictures of your setup. It's like, remember, it's like mine's bigger than yours, that sort of thing, okay? Which is a lot of fun. I actually kind of do enjoy that with the monitors, to be clear. So, anyway, I have 4, okay? The job I do, okay, I mean, obviously I'm doing mortgages, I'm looking at documents, but I also do social media, I do video, I do, what the crap do I do? I troubleshoot stuff for my team. Like, I need some screen real estate. Anyway, I got a stupid problem with my booking app. So I call up the nice people at Zoho support. And of course, they're overseas. And they do the remote session. Thought nothing of it. I don't know what the hell happened, but it fried. I think I figured it out. It fried my digital hub. And those things are like $300. They're not cheap. Okay? I invested in that a few years ago. Fried. Like, it ain't working. Only 2 monitors are working. I can't get the other 2. I don't know what I'm going to do. Do I buy another one? Because they're not going to replace it. I don't even know what they did. They connected remote. If you're a techie and you've worked with Zoho Assist or Desk or whatever they call it, if you've heard of this, I am reaching out to my followers. If you have heard of Zoho starting up a session, not fixing your problem, I might add, problem not fixed, fixed it on my own, disconnecting from the remote session, and then frying stuff in Canada. They're overseas, I'm here, they messed up my shit, man. I don't know what to do. By the way, people at Zoho, very, very nice. I've met a few of them, actually. I'm talking Zoho, not Blue Mortgage. I can just hear Tom and Massimo at Blue Mortgage. Oh my God, tell me it's not us. No, it's not you guys. You guys are cool. Don't worry about it. Zoho messed some shit up here. So I got to go figure this out. I don't know. If you know an issue with Zoho Remote, frying shit in Canada, I want to hear from you. That's it. Half an hour. Damn, man. Half an hour of bitching and complaining. All right. That's it. Let's wrap up this this therapy session. Best therapy session ever. I don't have to pay for it. Well, except for my membership with Libsyn, the guys who host this thing. All right, guys. One last PSA, public service announcement for those of you who don't know what that is. If you got a mortgage coming up, man, next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, get at me now. Please get at me now, okay? We're running into this again. I love having meetings with people. Their mortgages are coming up in 2-3 years. And I'm like, man, you guys are on the right track. Awesome. I will reach out to you annually. I will make sure I get at you before your maturity date. I'll stay in contact. I love those experiences. Then there's the other experiences where the maturity's coming up and we got to do some planning for them. Okay. And unfortunately, because they didn't get at me quick enough, now we got problems. Okay. Amounts, qualification, could have made it better, whatever. Okay. So get at me now. We have TFC Mortgage Premier, which I think we might rename, maybe we'll see, where we do the planning for you. Okay. It's really, really important. And we have all the tools to help you with that. All right. That's enough. Like me, love me, follow me, want me, desire me. 5 stars. I think it only takes 5 stars. And other than that, folks, have a wonderful week. Watch me on social media, man. I'm talking about this whole Bank of Canada fiasco and their prime rate announcement. Okay. Keep fit. Have fun. See ya.